This podcast series is powered by HypeGirl.
Have you ever been on a podcast before?
I have not.
Okay, very exciting.
I'm very excited.
You're
that
popping my podcast
I
cherry.
was just going to say,
yeah, very nice.
Well,
yeah.
Cursing or no cursing?
Cursing.
Oh.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Cursing. My husband is our producer, so if he gets crazy, we just let him bleep some of them out.
Welcome to the Do It Ugly podcast. Here are your hosts, Stacy Lyon and Jenny King.
Okay, ladies, we are so excited to have with us today Devanie McCartney, owner of Self Love Photo Company.
Yeah. Thank you.
We have been trying to get you here since Women's Day back in March 2023, and we are excited that we finally made it happen today.
Yeah.
Devanie is an amazing boudoir photographer. So for all the ladies that may not know what that entails, tell us what exactly boudoir photography. I feel like I have to say it like that. Boudoir. Like very français.
Well, it is.
Yes.
It's the least fancy.
Boudoir. Tell us about boudoir photography and your
Wow.
cute studio.
Yes. So boudoir is really for me, and I can't really speak to other boudoir photographers, but personally for me and what it's grown to be in the last year is really giving women a safe place and someone safe to coach them into translating their emotions and their sexuality on camera.
Okay.
Love that.
Yeah. And
I
then-
was waiting for you to finish that sentence with sexy poses. I don't know why. But sorry. Go ahead.
Sexuality more because once you start feeling your emotions and you're getting in that mind frame, your body language starts to change, and it's really beautiful to watch somebody's body language completely open up.
Yeah.
And you can see like what they really want to be like on the inside, but their confidence has just smashed them down so low that they don't even know how to do it anymore. So you have to coach them into what it's really supposed to be like to be a woman again.
Yeah.
So.
There is so
What a
much we are going to
beautiful
unpack
awakening.
right there. So much. But before we do that, tell us a little bit about you so our listeners can know who you are and why we think you're so amazing, because we do. We love you and adore you.
Thank you.
So yeah, tell them who you are.
I have 2 kids, a husband who's a paramedic. I was a graphic designer for a long time. I was supposed to be an animator, Disney animator, and I just like completely flipped off of that, come home from California and just went like total opposite.
Yeah.
So, found photography through my own wedding. I had like a really horrible experience with my photographer, and I'm like, I know I can do better. And then it just led me down this road of boudoir. And somebody just recommended me try it. And I was like, I have no girlfriends. Like, I don't even have, like, why would I just start shooting all of these women? You crazy. Like, you're crazy. Me shoot boudoir. Like, yeah.
And ask them to take their clothes off and do it.
Yeah. And she's like, just try it. It's like a really good niche. And I was like, okay. It was a coach. And I was like, all right, I'll go for it. And I fell in love. This past year, I found out that like most of the people say like, what's your why? Do you have a why behind your photography? And everyone's like, oh yeah, like I love building up women's confidence. I'm like, no, actually boudoir is healing me. Boudoir found me to heal my relationship with women because of my past traumas, but also share that with other women and then help them with their confidence. So yeah.
I love that so much. And I think that's so in line with everything that we're about. So you're a perfect fit for today. Yay!
Well, that also just spoke volumes to me because in that one sentence, now I get why so many women trust you and open up to you.
For sure.
And are willing to share with you who they really are on the inside.
Which I didn't know for long. I'm like, why did they trust me so much? I don't get it.
You're
And
their
I had
safe place.
I had to unpack that for myself because I started with body positivity, but I noticed that my all of my reviews were not about body positivity. It wasn't like they were like, oh my God, I feel so good about my body now. It was, she made me feel so comfortable. She made me feel so beautiful over and over and over again. And I was like, that word comfortable, I need to unpack that. So this last year I went on a journey to unpack that and figure out what it was.
So let me ask you this, like when women come into your studio, I assume that it takes a minute to unlock. How do you do that? Like, how does a session begin? Because I've always wanted to do a boudoir, but I am honestly at the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Not in love with my own body by any stretch. My husband, God bless him, he's still in love with it for whatever reason. But I can imagine that I would be locked up like a hope chest trying to make this thing happen.
Yes.
So what does that look like?
That's one of the reasons we start with hair and makeup is because our makeup artist, it's not like you're just going to go right into shooting. So our hair and makeup artist, she spends about 2 hours with you, sometimes an hour and a half because she talks a lot. So it's kind of like therapy. Before the shoot.
Hashtag therapy. Okay, you need to trademark that one like today.
Yeah, so Selena's amazing. They literally will just open up and tell their life story. Wow. And so that gives them that level of like, whew, okay, I'm down a notch. I just let all of my crap out before the photographer gets here. So then Selena's like, oh yeah. And then she hypes me up too. So she's like, oh, Devanie's really great with that. Oh, she'll get you feeling good with that. Or this is the best thing for that. So
you got another superhuman woman in your corner.
It just happened naturally.
That's so
totally
cool.
happened naturally.
And who is your makeup artist?
She's Selena. I'm not sure she wants me to say her last
name.
Got it.
Nope.
But Selena of Self Love Beauty Company.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So we just work hand in hand, and that's why we ended up working so closely together, is because it just grew into this beautiful relationship of she just like takes them down to like she just takes them down a little bit, and then when I get there and I walk in, the energy gets back up again because I'm like, yay, hey, I'm here. So then they have to be like, oh shit. So then I sit there and
anxiety down,
anxiety up. She's here. Oh my god.
That's right.
I sit there and then we just have like normal girl conversations. So I sit there while they finish hair and makeup, and then I just let them know that I'm just a real person, and we just talk, and I ask them what they've been talking about, and they kind of give me little bits and pieces of some of the life story that they just spilled their heart out for. So that's like one of the layers. And then once we start like getting into it, we will get some outfits and things ready, and then we have a conversation. We sit down and have like a good little conversation, which everybody's like, they sit on the couch and they're like, oh crap, what's about to happen? Why is she making me sit down here and face her and like actually talk to her?
Wow.
So
you have a closet full of outfits that people, they don't have to bring their own, right? They can't.
Correct.
They can, but they don't have to.
Most people do. They do bring outfits just because it's fun for them to
go shopping.
Yeah, go shopping.
The prep. It's part of the mental prep, I would imagine, before they even get there.
Yeah, they love it. And I give a bunch of guides and everything out so that they can be prepared, and everybody's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I pull stuff from the closet. I'm like, just try this on. This will look good. And then they're like, oh yeah, I love that. So we end up going with a lot of stuff from my closet because it's stuff that they also would never try. They're like, I'm going to go with like this lacy modest. And I'm like, let's go with the BDSM cuffs. I think that's a really good option.
I love that.
Wow, we just jumped in there, didn't we?
Now we're talking. I'm just kidding. So how long does a normal session take? Like what's the timing? Because it's 2 hours hair and makeup. And so then what does it look like spending time with you to finish?
It depends on, honestly, if you're locked up, like you said, or if you just like, I'm going to let go of everything and really lean in. So if you're locked up a little bit, it takes us a little bit longer to get that comfortable body language and those emotions. And we sit and kind of talk about it a little bit. That can take up to like 2 hours for shooting. It can be quick, 45 minutes, or it could be up to two hours if you're like locked down tight, not letting me in.
But generally for a session, you're probably allotting somewhere between 4 and 5 hours.
6 hours total. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 6 hours total, just to be safe, on the safe side. Cause they'll get there maybe like 8:30 and then leave about 2 p.m.
And where do you normally shoot? Do you have a studio?
Yep.
Or you? Okay,
no,
cool.
The studio's downtown near the convention center. I just applied for a lease for a gorgeous space in downtown Conway.
Ooh. Okay. We are believing.
Putting all of the manifesting vibes out there for this.
We are believing.
I love that.
Twice as big and just going to be amazing. So
we are claiming that for you, that is going to happen. So in the sessions, is there music? Is there mood? Like what is happening? Or is it a different vibe for every woman? How do you make that magic happen?
It's definitely about reading. Again, I feel like I'm now like the body language expert. So it's about reading a lot of their body language. Are they really closed off to begin with? Are they like ready to go? Boobs are already out. It doesn't matter. So I'll, put on
I want to be that woman.
Yeah.
She's just like, tits out, let's go.
Yeah, most people are. They walk in and then they're like, I never thought I would do this, but I'm literally naked in front of you right now. And I'm like, I don't know how I got here either.
But yet here we are.
It's reminding me of that experience, like when you're pregnant and, at first you're real modest, but then the farther you go into labor, you're like, I don't care who's in this room seeing me naked, get it out.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Kind of experience. Like it's making me feel like, okay, there's just.
Yep. They're like, I'm already here and I know what's going to happen. So
let's go.
I'm going to. Yeah, let's go. So, we do put music on, and then again, depends on their like kind of personality. But I usually try to put some sort of hype music on. You have to, or like more sexual type.
Do you have a go-to song?
Not a go-to song, no.
You know, I love the spicy novels. So I
know.
deeply love all the sexy things. And I think the dark femme piece is really powerful.
But see how you are like, wait, who are you? Like
Yeah.
that is in so many women.
That was
Yes.
more joking. I know that side of her. It totally exists.
But
Like she has a whole closet of leather. I'm not surprised. So I got
don't,
her.
but maybe someday.
No,
Mamas,
never
again,
mind.
warning. This episode may be
I'm
only for
picturing
you.
your closet, not you. Never mind.
No, but I love that because I just think that is what a gift that you give women to help them claim that power back, because that is something really powerful to feel sexy and bold and then take that into your daily life. So my other question is, and the greatest fear for me is, what happens to the pictures once they're taken? Not from you. I know you keep them, but do they go into books? Are they on the wall? Like, what are most women doing with these boudoir photos?
Definitely books, because they end up falling in love with so many. That's the best way to get the most.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
if you're like, well, I'm just going to come in for like 1 or 2. There's no way I'm going to love 5. I'm like, how am I? She has packages for 40. No way. I'm not going to love 40 images. And then they're narrowing down. And they're like, I liked 100. What do I do now? And I'm like, well, here are the options. And so that's what ends up happening. And then a lot of people are still very apprehensive to like put them on their wall or whatever. But I'm like, that's the biggest confidence booster. If you can throw it in your bathroom, in your closet, because it forces you to look at it every single day. Because the album, they can be tucked away if you don't have the cover photo. So if you have it on your wall, you get to wake up and you're getting ready and you're looking at that badass, like, booty bitch up there on that wall. And you're like, that is me. I'm going into my day, remembering that day that I expressed all my emotions. I felt amazing. I know who I was inside. Like, that's the best confidence booster.
Every woman deserves to feel that.
What an amazing way to start your day, too, to look at yourself like that and go out into the world with that feeling every day.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. I think that's so incredibly cool. Has your own confidence been impacted by this work?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a very confident person when I was younger, and I had, like, of course, like all of us, moments where my confidence was just beat down, beat down, beat down. So, and again, that's why I feel like Boudoir found me, was to heal my confidence in me and then spread that to other women. Because I've always been a leader, but always been thought of as more of a bitch. So that's like, that's like one of the things that I grew up with, was that I was more of a bitch. I was aggressive. I was too assertive.
Oh, yeah.
But all along, it was really just that I was a leader, and people don't like that for some reason, especially in high school.
I think we totally
sit
get
down,
that.
be quiet. You're too much. You're too this.
I got
that,
kicked off my softball team for speaking up, and yeah.
Ooh, she's a badass. We already knew it.
Yeah.
I love that.
But you know what? I think you find that
you
in
found
all
the
driven.
place that you were meant to be right now.
No doubt.
And there's so much, I guess, like, existing things around women in power. They're like automatically seen as a bitch, and now it's like that's the first thing you think of when some woman comes to you and they're very stern and powerful. It's like all their minds go, oh my god, she's such a bitch, when it's not like that at all. So we got a tough job.
We do. And I recently heard an interview which speaks to that so well. Katherine Heigl, you know her? From Grey's Anatomy. Mm-hmm. So she was notoriously known for, quote unquote, being rude on set.
Yes.
She was recently on Kelly Clarkson's show, and they were talking about that. And she said, do you think you're a rude person? And she said, I used to have to think about that. She was like, but now I can answer that. She's like, and the answer is no. What I really am is someone who knows what I want.
Yep.
I'm not afraid to ask for it. And I'm not sitting around like making everybody else feel happy all the time now. So that gets interpreted as rude. Mm-hmm. And, being from the South, obviously, it's such an interesting line where we were so taught to be like P's and Q's, pretty little girls, like so polite to everyone, regardless of who they were. Now, you ladies you kind of consider yourself Southern, which cracks me up, but she's from Maryland.
I do not really consider myself Southern. I just kind of joke about it because Maryland is
that's
technically
not the
south of the Mason-Dixon line.
No one in the South considers Maryland the South. I just need you to know that. No one.
Right, but if you're like in Manhattan or Boston, Maryland is south. So it depends on your physical location where you are.
They probably think you're a hillbilly if they're from New York City and you're from Maryland.
That's exactly right. So having to spend most of my, my career, my life, whatever, in the Northeast, You feel like a Southerner in Maryland, but now that I'm down here in South Carolina, definitely don't feel like a Southerner. I feel very fish out of water.
Now, where are you from originally?
New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you feel that same pressure for genteelism is what we call it? Or?
No, because my mom is exactly who I am. She was always like, she got fired from a job because she outspoke about something in an email and they took it the wrong way. And she was always very strong and powerful businesswoman. So I really followed in her footsteps. I did take on some of my dad's kind of like hold it back a little bit. He's more of the like little bit reserved. Let's hold it back a little bit. Yeah. So I always kind of had a little bit of a battle between the both of those. Yeah. So maybe a balance.
And that's an interesting thing.
Sorry, but I have to ask.
Please.
Do you consider Maryland the South?
No.
Thank you.
I was born in Raleigh though, so I'm a native.
I thought for sure.
Wait a minute. Are you a Raleighite?
I am.
Me too. I lived in Raleigh. I went to college in Raleigh.
Really?
Yeah.
I lived in Clayton.
Oh, ooh, big town of Clayton. Yeah. Okay.
I was raised with some of those feelings, to be honest with you, about sitting down, looking pretty, being quiet, always, being the perfect hostess. Some of those things did, believe it or not, make it up past the Carolinas.
So let me ask you. So boudoir is obviously amazing for women, and that's where you're concentrated. Are you going to expand your offerings, or is that where you're going to focus? Because one thing that I love that I've seen a lot of lately is it is boudoir, but it's stranger sessions, and I am obsessed with them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you not know about these?
No, that's why I said what?
Have you seen them?
Yes.
I love
I
them.
thought you were going to say couples because I was like, oh, I've seen you starting to do that. And
it's
that's
strangers.
Incredible.
It's strangers, and it is hot, like 10 pepper spicy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have not thought about it, but I'm not opposed to it. There's a totally different like facet of the couples realm. You start getting into more of the like it's really more sexual than it is like women's confidence.
Oh yeah.
So there's just a whole other facet to that business. So right now I just like trying to keep a one-track mind on growing the, women's portion of it.
I love it.
So, and while I will shoot couples, it's not like my main thing that I'm like going to be putting out there a lot.
Well, no, I feel like what you're doing is an absolute lifetime mission.
Oh yeah.
And so many women need that.
Can we just say how incredible they look? I mean, every photo session that you post on your Facebook, which by the way, what is your Facebook?
Everything is just Self Love Photo Co.
There you go. Self Love Photo Co. Go and check it out. You will see what I mean. Everyone is so beautiful, but it's also, I don't want to say like they're glowing, but it's definitely, you can see their inner beauty shining along with those fabulous booty pics. Like, I feel like that is what you were known for. Am I right in saying that is the booty pic?
I don't know. I hope so. That'd be great.
I mean,
I feel like I need to go look again.
You need to look again.
I do need to look again.
I keep getting banned on Instagram for like everything. So.
Do you?
Yeah. Awful.
Good job, girl.
Yes.
That means you're doing it right.
That
means you're doing something right.
Absolutely.
Now, are you on the TikTok?
I am.
Ooh.
Yes, and that's even worse for banning. So there's not a lot of, but yes, there's not a lot of spicy stuff on there at all. So.
On the TikTok.
Yes, they're the worst.
I see a lot of spicy stuff on the TikTok.
I know, but boudoir photographers, the second you put the word boudoir in there, they're like, bing, right onto you, and people just get shut down.
Should we come up with another word?
I'm gonna have to come up with a secret word.
Spicy?
Yeah, and I use the word spicy.
We were talking right before you got in here that we needed to start putting a spicy pepper rating on our podcast because they are not always for women to listen to in the car with the children.
Love it.
And so we were like, okay, let's do a 1 to 5 spicy rating. And she's like, what do you think today will be? I was like, I think it's going to be like a 4.
It could be a 5.
It could be a 5.
I already went BDSM, so
it's not over yet.
So I was going to say we just jumped to a 10, but yeah.
Now, have you done a session, had one done of you for your, you have?
Yes.
Ooh.
By my mentor in California.
That's
and
amazing.
It was amazing. And I literally felt this moment of like, I don't even care if I see the photos. I feel so good right now that I don't even have to have the photos.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And they
saw them?
amazing.
She posts them.
Oh, I didn't see those. Well, I follow you too, but I didn't see those. Okay, I'm going back. We're all going back to look for the photos.
All right. I should probably share more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so fun and it was so cool to be on the other side and honestly have my mentor who's the best at it shoot me. And
Is that the one you have in like a tank top with like, I want to say they're like pearls or something or like beads? No? Stop it. All right.
No.
Why did I not think of that?
Are these on the Facebook or are they on the Instagram?
No, am I not picturing
Oh, the necklace one?
Yes.
I took those. Those are selfies.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I was like, am I crazy how I lost
No,
my
the
mind?
ones where my boobs are showing?
Yeah.
Those I took those myself. That was not a real session, no.
Stop it.
You probably haven't even seen the real session.
Oh, shit.
That one, yeah, I took those in the studio one day. I was like, I gotta take some selfies. But you should see the difference between the selfies I took like maybe 6 months ago versus those two. It's still wildly different.
We're gonna have
because
to
of
go on
my
our
journey.
phones right now. Jenny's going on
I'm
right
looking
now
right now
to the interwebs to
I could
find
probably
them
just
all.
pull up my app for you.
There you
I was
go.
gonna say,
All my,
please.
Oh, you
can
have
see-
an
you can-
app
yeah,
as well?
you can see my private
Self Love
stash.
Photo Co.
No,
Ooh.
it's my my personal, like, so some women
Okay.
get an app with their album, and all of your
Ooh.
photos live there.
Huge recommendation to the younger women out there, and I wish I had done this, captured these beauties before I breastfed 2 children. I'm just saying, not that they're not good now,
Yeah.
but they're not at their peak performance. Let's just
That's
say.
what a lot of people say too. They're like, I want to capture this before I get older. And while that's good too, is that you should still be honoring yourself, like where you are, because your body did do all of that, and it's amazing. And that
Right.
you still
I created 2 lives, 2
yeah,
humans.
and that like you were saying, your husband, why does he still love me even though I'm the heaviest? Because this is my biggest thing in our sessions, is because he's not looking at your body and being like, I fell in love with you because of your boob,
Yeah.
or your knee, or that one roll on your back. Like, no, he fell in love with you because everything that's inside of you, the way
Yeah.
that you look at him, when you
Yeah.
laugh, when you give that like come fuck me face, all of that.
and then there's that.
Uh-huh.
You're going to have me crying on this podcast.
Aw.
No, that's
But
such a beautiful thing.
That's
Yeah, I
why
love
the
that.
emotions mean so much to me, is because that's what's inside of everybody. And that's they're missing. The point is, like, it is not about the body. It's about everything that you are made of. And that's
Yeah.
what makes all of it beautiful. Because when I do something and I show you, like, okay, this is the pose that we're going to do, your body's going to do it totally different than my body.
Yeah.
But we can get you there in a comfortable space that gets you in that comfortable mode where it looks natural for you to do that pose.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
a lot of women have trouble with certain poses, and it feels really unnatural. And I'm like, you just have to get your mind to match your body. And we work on that a lot too. And so that's why we work a lot on the emotions, because the vocal intonation that we pair with the body language and posing, it like fakes your brain into thinking that you're doing whatever it is. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go like really crazy here for a second. But if we're doing joy, I go like this. We're like, okay, have so much fun now. Laugh into the camera. Oh my God. Instantly you're smiling, right?
Yeah, right.
Because your brain's like, oh my God, we're having so much fun. And then if you're like, you go down to shy and you're like, I'm a little shy. I don't want you to look at me. I'm a little shy. You're like, oh, your body starts to go like, okay, all right.
I'm following you
Yeah,
down the road.
I
I'm going.
know.
I'm going.
I have no control of my body at all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I see that. Okay, they're following you. And what an art, though. That's, I mean, that's not something it's like, hey, just compose for me.
Yeah.
That's a real art that you've created. And clearly your mentor is somebody that taught you so many of those things. But I
Yes.
imagine that you bring so much to the table that's so different, because your magic is your magic.
Exactly.
And
that's what she preaches too. She's like, I don't want you to do it like me.
Yeah.
I want you to take what I know and do it in your own way so that you can spread your magic. It's not my magic. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you that there's magic
I
there.
love that.
Yeah, I think that's so good. Now, to date, how many women have you photographed so far?
Ooh,
If you had to guess.
over 100 for sure.
amazing.
Yeah.
But you do something fabulous too on the beach, right? Where you invite women to come and wear black bikinis and you
Yes.
photograph. Talk about that.
Yeah, every year I do a completely free giveaway. We have 13 names drawn from the spinny wheel of names, I call it. And usually about 5 to 7 show up. And it's required that you are in a black bikini. It can be a thong, it can be whatever, but no tankini. It's got to be a bikini, no matter what your body size is. And we go and do like a group shoot. All of the girls are typically strangers, and they are literally holding hands and hugging each other and laughing.
It's
love that.
beautiful.
And we literally just honor the bodies on the beach and just show everybody that it's all normal. It's all different. There's no one person that's alike, and not one person's more beautiful than the other.
Yeah.
It's just a big, party and
I
celebration.
would say it looks like so much fun. Like
Yeah.
you guys are having the best time.
Ooh.
It makes me feel like, Dove did a campaign a few years ago, right? It makes me feel like it's the local version of the Dove
I love
campaign
it.
where people are, they're just loving their body. And it's one thing to maybe do it privately with you in a studio, but then to take it out on the beach where there's other people there.
Yes, which is
and you're taking it out into the wild, out into the world.
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit of thinking about that, just a little.
Did you flinch?
A little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people don't book the beach sessions, is because they think that automatically. And I always just tell them, like, you have to trust that it's just going to melt away. Like, you don't even realize other people are there because I'm so engaged with you and you're engaged with me.
Yeah.
Everybody else just melts away.
I feel like once I do the boudoir shoot with you, that I'll feel better about the beach.
Which is
Are
funny.
you doing the moaning voices on the beach? It's just, sorry, that's what
a
went
little
into
bit,
my head.
yeah. We don't get too sexy on the beach because it's a little bit more like playful and fun.
Right.
So not as much, but I still do all the breathing and everything. There's a lot of breathing. You feel like a dead fish at some points because you're like breathing so much and your mouth is open all the time. Everyone's like, I don't understand how this is sexy. And then I show them the photos. They're like, oh my God, I get it now.
I'm the best breather
yes.
ever.
All I had to do was breathe.
If there was anything that you could share with our besties about being confident and just loving their bodies outside of just the thought to honor it, because obviously we all think that, but what's some active practice or something you can give them to really do in their daily lives that are going to help them be more confident?
It's honestly that it's a practice. It's something that we learned, and we have to basically unlearn and just retrain our thoughts over and over and over again. And just saying to yourself, I love you too much to do this. So if it's something that's like you're looking in the mirror and you're pulling apart your outfit, stop. I love you too much to do that to yourself right now.
I love that.
You don't have to do that. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's just a practice to take the negative thoughts and shut them down. Put them in a box, put them in the attic. Away they go. Thank you, ego. We always say thank you, ego, because like your ego tries to, shove you down or keep you safe, quote, but it's not really keeping you safe. It's keeping you from like making leaps and bounds. So thank you, ego, for trying to keep me safe, but I don't need that right now. That's not what I actually am thinking. What I'm actually thinking is like, that's a badass woman in that mirror. And it's okay to think that. It's totally okay to have that confidence. We think that for some reason it's not okay to look in the mirror and say, I look good, or I feel pretty, or I am confident.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's just normal. It's normal human nature to do those types of things too. So if that doesn't speak like leaps and bounds of boudoir, the genre itself, then I don't know what does. Like, and most people look at me and they're like, you want me to do what in the studio? And I'm like, just let go. It's gonna be okay.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I know you're a mom to a daughter. And so I can only imagine the conversations you have. She is still young, but what are some of the things that you say to her, advice you might have for our daughters? And one of the things we like to do is try to breathe inspiration to the next generation so that their voice is different than the one that we have in our head.
Yeah. And she's a little bit younger, so it's a little, not as in depth yet.
Yeah.
So little bits and pieces is every time she's like, I can't do something. It's the conversation is, you can do anything you want to do. Why don't you think you can do this right now? And then we kind of unpack that a little bit and just, give her a little bit of confidence there. She's been getting really embarrassed lately. So I'm like, oh man, I have to go figure out how to make her not embarrassed, like give her a piece of my confidence. So I'm actually really navigating that right now. And figuring out how to give that back to her. But I just tell her she's beautiful all the time. And I try to not like minimize her feelings and her, like feeling pretty and things like that. So I try to let her do her own thing, and I try not to like squash her, fun, especially when she wants to put on like the crazy makeup and like, the crazy lips. And I'm like, you look beautiful. This is great.
But we are not leaving the house today.
Yeah, but we might need to fix this. And she's like, why? And I'm like,
But mom, it looks so good.
It looks great. We haven't really quite unpacked that yet.
And how old is she?
5.
Okay, yeah. So she's still relatively small.
For sure. But I love that you talked about that she's feeling a little embarrassed, because I can remember, again, when I was younger, that stopped a lot of me wanting to allow who I truly was into the world. And that the older I got, the less I cared. And now I just could not give two shits about whether people think that I should be embarrassed or not, because I'm the one that in the grocery store, have you noticed they play the best music in the grocery store?
Oh my God, we are jamming in the grocery store.
I am like full on like dancing down the aisle with the cart, or even park the cart and just have a random dance break.
Awesome.
And my children are looking at me like, oh my God, I'm humiliated. And I'm like, come on, dance with me. It's so much fun. Or
is this not a thing? Do you not do this?
No.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
So focused. I'm like laser
God.
focused I'm like, get in and get out.
No,
Let's
girl.
go.
I go to the grocery store alone so that I can have that time. And you let Phil Collins in the air tonight come on, and the drum solo. We are doing it on the veggie cans.
Or you pull up to the traffic light and you hear the music in the car next to you. That's when I like turn my radio off, put all the windows down, and I look over, wait to make eye contact, and I'm like, yeah.
We do have a lot of kitchen dance parties at my house.
I love that.
I love that.
Lots of kitchen dance parties. And then sometimes when the kids are getting a little crazy, I'm like, music, let's go. We're having a dance
Music
party.
is life,
yeah,
for sure.
It just completely changes your mood. So
I highly recommend as many random dance parties as possible throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it helps to just not take yourself so seriously as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think every woman who listens to this is going to be so excited about boudoir. And I think the reason so many women haven't done it is because they've never heard it spoken about the way you described it today.
I think so.
Had I heard about it like that, I probably would have been ready to do it much sooner.
Yeah.
Because the passion in your voice lets me know that it's a place where I'm just going to get to experience something really, really amazing. And
that's probably the one thing I'm navigating the most this year is like, instead of writing, because a lot of people are not reading nowadays, I have to start speaking about it out loud. And while I don't mind, it's just like when I'm sitting there in my like alone and not in a podcast situation, I'm like, but nothing's coming out.
Well, now you're going to have this recorded clip where you talk about it so eloquently and make it feel so sexy and special.
As long as our ridiculousness doesn't interrupt our clip. Okay. But hey, before we let you go, we want to do something with you that we love to do with our guests, which is 10 rapid fire questions.
Oh, love it.
Are you game for this?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so just the first thing that pops into your brain.
Oh, this is a
all right, here we go. Let's go. Are we doing books or movies?
Movies.
Are you a karaoke fan or no?
Oh, no, but I should be now that I have to get my confidence in performing.
Okay.
It was always a big embarrassment thing for me. So maybe I need to go try some karaoke.
So what I hear is we need a karaoke night.
Yeah.
Done. Okay. Favorite curse word?
Oh, fuck, of course.
Isn't that everybody's favorite curse word? My mother hates it. She absolutely hates that word.
Absolutely. What is your first job?
I was a lifeguard.
Street smarts or book smarts?
Street.
All right, fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is
powerful. She's a bad bitch.
Love that.
Love her.
I just had to make sure that you were a Swiftie before we actually put this on the air. What is your favorite number?
15.
Why?
Ooh.
It's my birthday.
Love. Okay. Ask permission or beg forgiveness?
Neither.
Really? Really?
Yeah, we don't have. See, that's another thing we have to unpack
that.
is asking for permission.
Ooh,
you know,
that's a whole podcast.
Yes, it's a very whole podcast. And then begging for like we don't have to beg for anything, right? Unless you want to like beg for it in the bedroom for like playful reasons.
Yeah.
But
damn, I'm glad I asked that. I love
so
that.
much.
That's the perfect way to end this. I don't think we could top that.
I don't think we could top it. Devanie, you are an absolute badass, and we adore you.
Much.
And
Thank
tell
you so much for
tell the
coming
besties one more time where they can find you, how they can reach you, so they can schedule their session like ASAP.
Yes, let's get you in selflovephotoco.com, and then all of my socials are at selflovephotoco. My TikTok is at Self-Love Society. And our Facebook group is the Self-Love Society, which you can just find through the Facebook page.
All right. Well, we love you. We adore you. Thank you for jumping on Do It Ugly.
Thank you so much for being here.
All right, besties. We always love hanging with you. We can't wait to do it again. We'll see you next time. Have a great week and stay amazing.
Do It Ugly.
Always.